So here we are at the top of the Black Rocks above the beautiful Sea of Galilee. We have a fantastic view. I'll try to explain everything that we're seeing around here. It's pretty amazing. The Golan Heights running all along there, and Tiberias right down there, and then Mount Arbel and Mount Nitai. In the last week, since the last video, we've had 3 major storms come through here. They were pretty fun to watch, especially because for us as Christians who read the New Testament, we know that Jesus and his disciples were out in the boat and that the disciples were scared of the storm and Jesus told them not to be scared. Now, I don't want to get all nerdy on you. It's very easy for people like me who've had ages and ages to study the Bible to get nerdy. But there's 2 different ways to translate Jesus' challenge. And in the language in which the text is written, they both work. One of them is, "Why are you scared?" And the other is, "What cowards you are." What cowards you are. Now, it might seem like strong language, but if you think about it, Jesus probably was a bit frustrated with them because they had seen him heal. They had seen him conquer the laws of nature. They had seen him multiply the loaves and fishes. They had seen him do all kinds of amazing things. But in the moment, they were scared of the storm. There's another passage in Luke's Gospel, chapter 12, where it says, Jesus told them, "Do not be afraid, little flock. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." We know from reading some texts in the Mishnah, which was written about 180 years after Jesus, but it recorded the opinions of people who lived at the time of Jesus, that they believed that when each person said the biggest and most important prayer in Judaism, the Shema, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one," it was like each person was, as they said, accepting the yoke of the kingdom of heaven in each of their hearts. If each one of us says in our hearts, "God is my king," then we have no reason to fear. Then there is nothing to worry about. What's the other side of it? We read in Revelations chapter 12 that the fearful ones, the cowards, it uses the same word as the text in Matthew's Gospel does for telling the story of when they were out on the boat right out there. And those who have no faith will be thrown into the lake of fire. So in the end, we have a choice. Either we fear and lose faith, or we accept God as our King. When these people walking in this valley talked about the kingdom of God, they meant right here, right now. In whatever country you live in, whatever village or town or city you live in, God is king here and now. That's why Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is within you," or "the kingdom of God is among you." That's the kingdom, one person at a time. Which brings me to another really interesting point. Do you see this plant right here? This yellow blossom. That's the wild mustard. Now, it might not grow into the biggest garden plant, like it says in Mark's Gospel, but it does spread everywhere. If you were standing here with me, you would be able to see, I don't know if it's coming through on the camera, but you would be able to see yellow all along this hillside here. Now think about that as an example of the kingdom of God. Okay? The kingdom of God starts small, one person at a time, but then it spreads. It spreads everywhere. And you can see it right here. The mustard going everywhere, growing everywhere. There's another picture of the kingdom of God. What I've seen as I've been studying this material is that often Jesus used very normal, everyday examples that everyone would understand as a way of telling them about deep and eternal truths. Those are his parables. So I hope you enjoyed our little excursion, and I'm going to head back to Beit Bracha now, but we'll see you again soon.